All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Okay, before we even get the video going, do not worry about the 8-string. The headstock is completely off the ground because there's a slipper under the heel. And, well, it's now technically a 7-string because I got a broken string. I got to change that. All right, I got a really kind of interesting video for you because you can probably see my feet all the way over there. Whoops. But anyway, last night I jammed with my buddy that I work with all the time, and a friend of his that works out in the neighboring town. And his friend is kind of like me. He's a multi-instrumentalist, and he's got like all kinds of guitars there, and he's got a drum kit and everything like that. He had a double pedal on the drum kit and all that. So I jumped on every instrument. He had a bass there. It was an Epiphone 4-string bass, SG style bass, with the oldest strings. These were probably the prototype strings on it. That bass was really stiff. My fingers are still burning today. That's my buddy, because I put him on the bass for a good while there. He's like, how are your fingers this morning? Oh, they're raw. They're raw. But I played, he had an SG there and I was playing it, and he had an SG special and nice little black SG special and this little Laney amp or whatever. Thing rocked pretty good. It was had a pretty good, cool sound. And we mainly did improvising, like metal improvising. I even did some drop D tuning and stuff like that just to have fun with it. Tried a couple of cover tunes or whatever. The thing is, I play all the time. I play almost on it. Well, I play pretty much every day. I grab, a random guitar every day. So all my guitars get played quite a bit, right? Most of his guitars, he's only been playing like 1 or 2 of them. So the rest of them, the strings are not only really cruddy on them, even worse than mine, but like the guitars were horribly out of tune. So, just from not being played for so long. But the thing is that I got to try a lot of techniques that I've been working on for the past couple of years, sweep picking, because I haven't jammed with an actual metal band. I only jammed with maybe one band, so to speak, a bass player and a drummer that live up the road, but it was like kind of all like country stuff. So I couldn't really do anything fun. You know what I mean? It was fun, but like it wasn't, okay, I'm going to try this shred. Like I'm going to try sweeping arpeggios and stuff like that. And that to me is kind of like the ultimate test of your playing skill is playing live, right? Or even if you wanted to say live in the room. So with an audience, without an audience, jamming, playing live. But the thing is when you're not well rehearsed, you have to put your benchmark pretty low because, well, the drummer doesn't know what he's doing. The bass player doesn't really know what he's doing. And the guitar player can only do what the other 2 guys know what they're doing. So it means you don't know what you're doing either. You're just improvising, right? So I would say, okay, here, try this chord pattern and see what comes out of it. And I tried a few cadences that were in E minor and A minor and stuff like that. And then, of course, a whole bunch of stuff in drop D, all the brilliance out of that. And I didn't film anything yet. I want to get stuff down tight, and because not everybody wants to be. And there's nothing that drives me more nuts is when you jam with people, and especially if they get really good, and I don't want to be on YouTube. I don't, like they don't want to share it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, but that, I want to show you guys, what I can do and stuff. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world or anything like that, but what I'm saying is that music to me is to be shared, and especially inspirational jams, and especially doing neoclassical stuff and instead of just regular old blues jams. Nothing against the blues jams, but it's been done to death, right? So improvised metal jams you don't see as much because you can't really improvise metal that much. Just because if you wanted to make it metal, it has to be very progressive, meaning you have to kind of know where you're going. But you can do parts, like, okay, here, do this little sequence for about 1.5 minutes and, see what you could throw over top of it. It's good practice. It's really good practice, right? So the next time I go, I'm probably going to bring my 7-string Mark Holcomb guitar. This one, I don't think I'm going to be able to pay it off this month. It's 50-50 whether I have 1 more day, maybe 2 more days to get paid from a client. And if I don't get paid, like the next 2 days, I'm going to be, it'll be another month before the guitar is paid off, but that's fine. And then that'll be all my guitars paid off. And then it's just the drum kit to pay off. But I'm going to be adding some stuff on there very, very soon. But anyway, the point is that when you get to play live, you work things out, okay, to get a couple of songs together, whether they're covers or originals. Like last night, we did a lot of like original kind of stuff because nobody really knew covers that the other guy knew, right? So it's kind of like if you know that song, that's great, but the other guy doesn't know it. And okay, let's put something together so that we can actually make music, right? But the best way to critique yourselves is practice a few songs or whatever, get it down as tight as you can, and then critique it. You know, film it and then critique it, because then you'll hear all the sloppiness. You're like, wow, last night we were so on fire, we were playing so good, and you listen back to it, it's like, oh my God, half the notes were out. You know, that kind of stuff. So the next few times that I jam with them, I'm going to see if I can get something out of it for my Light of Hope project stuff, so that you guys can hear, you know, some of my playing in the mix. Not that I'm saying everybody wants to hear my playing or whatever, but just so, you know, for those that would be interested, okay, well, he's got all these guitars. What is he doing with them, right? And I really, you know, like for me, I really, really need to get back on stage with a full band. I love the jam nights with the acoustic guitar and stuff like that. That's fun too. But if like the parts that we did yesterday, the tight stuff where I was doing some really cool shredding, to have done that like at Walk and Open Air Live would have been really, really insanely fun. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to get back to. So finding a couple of guys to jam with is great. These guys, they don't have any aspirations of playing live or anything like that, which is too bad. But you know, it's good practice for me. You know, I'm one of those guys. I've only found 2 other bands in the area, so to speak, and neither of them really want to play live, and they just want to jam, you know, like they just, you know, they're just not into the live playing thing. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, for me, I definitely need professional musicians, because I need people that, yeah, no, we're not only going to play live, but we're going to go make some money. Although it's hard to make money live, I get that, but and that's going to be my next video. So, but anyway, yeah. So just kind of neat little update, and just some of the things that I noticed about how my playing has changed by trying to, you know, change my style and all that in the past couple of years. But it was a lot of fun too. It was so much fun. Yeah, you know. And I can't wait to do it again, hopefully next week or the week after if I can. But I do want to get some footage for you guys because I think that'll be really cool. Anyway, there you go.